To give us more insight into this aviation subsector, the Managing Director of OAS Helicopters, Captain Everest Inaji, is our guest on the program. He insists while Nigeria has a difficult business environment, running this form of charter is achievable.
So it really would be difficult to value the entire helicopter market in Nigeria, but it is quite huge. You know, the thing about helicopter, people don't see what helicopters, do in Nigeria, because most of the flights are usually to remote locations. So when aircraft takes off from here, for instance, there are people who have known this place for over 10 years, but they've never seen helicopter take off from here. And why is that? You take off, let's say, for instance, by 9 o'clock in the morning, and you head out to, say, Port Harcourt or wherever, and you return maybe 3 days after, and then when you are returning, within 1 minute, 60 seconds, you see the aircraft is on ground and is out. I mean, the engine is, shut down. So if you are not here within that 1 minute, you won't see it. You understand? But that's where helicopter, operate. So in view of that, people don't even know the scope of operations. There is nothing you touch in this country today in the, bigger sphere of the industry that hasn't got an imprint of helicopter attached to it, including all the oil and gas you have in your cars and everything. Helicopter contributed to the major part of the exploration. As a matter of fact, it's a without which not for oil and gas. Flying to oil and gas, like flying to also, again, where no other aircraft can go to. Helicopter has a capability to go to oil rig, no matter how deep offshore. So it's just, that is different. It's not like going to anybody's field or any airport where everybody goes to or anywhere people are used to. But of course, once you have the coordinate of the field and you have that on the aircraft, on your GPS or whatever you have that directs you to where the oil field is located, you go there, you land, you drop passengers, you pick passengers, you change crew and all sorts of things. But of course, the aircraft will have to be equipped to be able to go offshore. It's not just every helicopter that can fly offshore. The sky, they say, is wide enough for everybody to fly. The volume of business you have around determines how many companies that can do well in that environment. The business is a very good one. It's a very good business. If you ask me, it is, to me, the most reliable aspect of aviation, at least in Nigeria as we speak. Because, of course, if I'm taking you to anywhere, you've paid for it. You've paid for my going there and coming back. It's not like me flying with 2 passengers when I should have 10 passengers, and I'm getting revenue for 2 passengers. So it's a charter operation. So that's why it looks as if it is a much more stabilized aspect of our industry. So the business, like I said, is a good one, but it's challenging. It's not an easy thing to do. You may fly for 10 years without getting a job, without getting a contract. You have to rely then on VIP charters, and they're not there all the time. So it's not like the business is there, but it's something that has nice possibility if you have your arts together, if you have the resources to be able to sustain yourself in operation until when you're able to secure a term contract, which of course guarantees your sustenance. The oil price coming too low, there's still hope, because I mean, people were flying helicopters, oil and gas, even when oil was $13. It's just that you may not be able to go deep offshore anymore because it's more expensive to, produce deep offshore, but you're still going to be able to fly because there's still some, oil rigs that are not too far into the high sea where it is too expensive to produce. So the business is there, but it may no longer be as voluminous as it was, 2 years ago and prior. You understand? But when it comes to helicopters, you must be able to, commercial helicopters as a matter of fact, you must be able to demonstrate your ability to maintain your aircraft in Nigeria. Unlike a fixed wing where you can, tell the regulatory authorities that you will do your maintenance in France or in South Africa or wherever, they know you don't have the capability to fly the aircraft from here to France or from here to South Africa to do maintenance. So you must demonstrate for them your ability to maintain whatever you want to fly here in Nigeria and certify them. And you must have the competent engineers and good enough numbers to guarantee them that even if one falls sick, that they have another one that will step in, and cover his job. So all these things, and then the maintenance tools and calibrations and monitoring from the regulatory authority and also from the manufacturers. Manufacturers don't just let you go sleep. They want to know what you're doing with the aircraft, because they don't want the aircraft to crash. If it crashes in there, it affects their name and their reputation. So that is part of the huge, honestly speaking, challenging financial stress around this very operation. That is why, since independence, there's been only 2 companies in Nigeria that are attempted to get this business off the ground and were able to. Only 2 companies. And a lot of companies, a lot of people have tried several times. When they realize the huge amount of money and the time you need to be able to get off the ground, some will just back off and count their losses. So it's quite challenging, investment-wise. To do Medivac, we've flown for quite a lot of people who had injuries in their factories. And if you have any situation in your factory or whatever, and you needed, somebody moved out of your premises or out of your factory, we dispatch our helicopter. In our own case, actually, we started positioning for this business since from 2002, and we're able to get off the ground 2006. So, but it depends on a lot of factors. There's no 2 preparations that will be the same. But for us, it happened within the internationally, believed space of time. They say at least 3 years, between 24 months and 36 months. And in our own case, we were lucky to have ourselves off the ground, within that period from the time we started.
Check out how technology is turning the industry around. Details after the break. Do join us again.